Good morning, afternoon or evening, and welcome to another 0AD Alpha 23 replay commentary analysis by me, Tom0AD. Now, it's been a while since I produced one of these, but this is an absolute belter of a game and there's plenty to learn, so I thought very briefly I'd get back into the old commentary stuff. Now, this match is between the undisputed, or you can dispute it if you want, but you're probably wrong, King of 0AD, and that is Borg. He's rated here at 2330 and he'll be playing as the Gauls. While on the other half of this particular Celtic battle is a player I know very little about. He's called StarAtt, but he'll be playing as the Britons. He's rated at 1879, so he is obviously no mug. And with that, you probably want to see this classic encounter between two of 0AD's top player. So why don't I shut my yap and we'll just dive into the game. And here we are in the game. So in the north we have Borg in the red, and he's chosen the unorthodox approach of two cavalrymen to be the first thing that he builds. He's also grabbing a little bit of wood and then heading over here to chop wood with this large collection of trees, and he's got one of his women building a farmstead while the rest just get on with grabbing those sweet berries. In the south we had Starat in the blue. He's as the Britons. Sorry, Borg is the Gauls, although you knew that anyway. And he's his first four women have come out here to aid with collecting berries, and his next thing that he's doing is making four slingers. So he's now moved a few more, so he's got 5 there, getting the berries. He's surely going to get this. I mean, he can see that there are berries here, so he would be utterly remiss if he didn't get the berry upgrade as soon as he could. And that is the horse. That little horn was the horses killing off the war dog, which you can see Starat. See the path that that the dog made there. And what we also see is we've got 6 slingers here, and they will be heading off to attack Borg. You can already see them in the picture. So let's now look at this from Borg's perspective, and we'll see how he handles this rush. As an aside, there are another 4 slingers on their way now. They're going on a slightly different path, but until that, Borg's got, you know, just the 4 women here, very minimal amount, and here come the slingers into shot. How will Borg defend this? Well, he sees them, and the first thing he does is get himself into the city centre and start producing some skirmishes. And the next thing he wants to do, next thing he does is he gets his soldiers here to build a defence tower, and that along with these 4 skirmishers should be more than enough to see off the slingers. So there they are. They come in, do a little bit of harassing again, but they've not really done a lot. Now here come the other 4 I mentioned earlier. They see the defense tower. If you just saw that, there they are. They just came into shot earlier. They saw the tower, they walked away, and that is it basically. These 4 are heading back. These 6 are going to join them very shortly, and it's a completely failed slinger rush. So Borg giving a great example of how you go about defending those. Just don't panic. Move your soldiers back inside the city centre. Look to defend the area, which he did around here, which was most vulnerable, using the tower with additional soldiers, and basically it's all done. And with that, you can see here come the slingers. There's all 10 of them, and they're just going to try and build a treehouse. A treehouse? What the hell was that? A storehouse, sorry. I saw trees, saw storehouse, treehouse. Not true. They're not making it for their kids to play on. So this is now an interesting part of the map. We've got here 5 women coming over, and that's going to be loaded up with more and more women. So those 2, these guys, once they've got all the berries, and this currently, if Borg, who does have 3 cavalry and is getting 2 more, were to launch an attack, this is the area that he would want to be doing. If they could come around this sort of area, not be seen by these slingers, there is a very good opportunity to take advantage and really yeah, push on with that. He has got 2 cavalry there now, which is different, but on the assumption that these women go and join these, I mean, that's 10 there already. They're building a house which gives them somewhere to defend, but still, this is a really weak area at the moment. So Starat's built himself a barracks, and as you can see, the populations are level pretty much, and they shouldn't be really. That for a good minute or two, those 10 cavalry, those 10 slingers were doing absolutely nothing, like literally nothing, wandering around. They weren't contributing to the economy at all, which, yeah, for me means that there should have been, Borg should have been able to use that time to really take advantage and do it. So now that we've got, yeah, 5 cavalry here, this area, oh my word, 13 plus this one, that's a lot of women, and it's now too late. That opportunity's gone because there's no way that these slingers would allow that. So he's moved some people back, and those guys are ensuring that the stone is done. He's got a pretty well defended, he's got the little tower in here, so this area as well, to get that woods pretty well defended. And should he get desperate and need to run away, he can put his slingers inside here and the women inside the tower, that if he built another house they could all survive any kind of raid. So because of those extra berries, Starat was a little bit slower on the on the transition to farms. He now could really do with moving that very, very quickly, and maybe even getting the upgrade to try and ensure that he's got his cavalry gathering food, which is good, but he's got here 17. These 5 could do with, if he has the wood, getting another field. He has, might have wanted to do that a few seconds earlier. And here again, a little bit of harassed. I wonder if actually the fact that Starat's been making these little forays forward, he's been constantly kind of niggling at Borg. I wonder if that made Borg assume that he was there was no point in raiding, that he wasn't in a position to be able to counter that. If so, it's a brilliant bluff from Starat. In he comes, nicely done. And again, that's those 2 women need to get to safety, and that is lost time. Only a tiny amount, but nonetheless, that is still lost time. So, yeah, very, yeah, interesting tactics at this point. Not as much cut and thrust as you'd expect. Normally, Borg would be, you know, much more involved in harassment. Even then, rather than chase this cavalryman who is doesn't, and still hasn't really explored much of the map at all. You could excuse it if you'd been totally focused on booming and was way ahead in population, as due to his not having done it. Like, he had no idle time, and those cavalry were constantly gathering meat and etc, etc. But that's not been the case. Starat is just continually producing people here. Let's have a look from Borg's perspective. Yeah, he sees that tower, he sees those soldiers, he doesn't want to get involved there. So he has finally thought about doing something, but let's just check again from his perspective. He's checking out the map, going around, and will he actually, yeah, will he get to a position where he sees something he can take out? So he sees this one cavalryman now. There's a target, if ever there was one. And the target gives that, and brilliant defense here. Absolutely superb from Starat. And he even has a nice little bit of flair there, a bit of panache, using his slingers and whatever to attack the deer that wasn't quite dead, meaning that he can gather meat that little bit closer to the base. That was like watching Paul Gascoigne back in the day, that kind of nonchalant flair. Very good play, lovely to see. I'd love to see a replay of that. Maybe we will, who knows. In fact, let's do exactly that, because that is something worth seeing again. So on second viewing, you can see it's actually more impressive. Look how quickly these guys here stopped mining in reaction to seeing the attacking cavalry. They've moved so sharp. His food production hasn't slowed down at all. Even had time to deposit the stone in the storehouse before going and launching that defensive move, and has moved straight on to then creating a new storehouse, or actually it's a barracks, but essentially to create a storehouse to get this wood. Got it. It's very, very good play. Let's get back to the game. Anyway, we've got now a third barracks going up. Now this seems excessive to me, I have to say. It seems like, yeah, a bit crazy to be producing from that many, but perhaps with the combination, because he's got the slingers at phase 1 and needs a smaller amount of wood because he's got the stone coming in, yeah, perhaps those yeah, that makes sense. Whereas it's not possible for Borg necessarily to do the same because he's got the skirmishes, so every, you know, for every 5 people he wants to produce, he needs 250 wood, plus he needs another house to give the 5 population bonus, which is 325 effectively, whereas that number is only 125 for StarAtt, because he's got the one house of 75 and 5 20 wood. Yeah, 5 times 20 wood. So that's interesting. I'd not really considered that before, but that, as we see here, he is still producing though. In fairness, he's producing spearmen as well. So whether he's concerned that we might see a raid, and speak of the devil, let's see this from StarAtt's perspective. There is a raid coming in now. Any minute now. Yep, there it goes. So Borg has done really well. He's managed to get right in there, and he's killed 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even more women. 9 in total. I think he got 7 women then possibly in that thing. And fighting back with this guy on only 4 health is not a particularly smart decision there. Quite often the AI takes control at that point, and it's not helpful. So interesting that his approach to stop that is to effectively to militarize this area. There's not a huge amount of wood there. It's a strange place to have that, but I can see that he clearly wants to make sure this area becomes more secure. And obviously, if there are, slingers and spearmen there's very little chance of a small group of cavalry doing that. I mean, just look at these populations though. It's absolutely insane at the moment. StarAtt, because of this massive barracks, like absolute mass, 4 barracks at this stage. Admittedly, Borg has gone to phase 2, but an absolute massive barracks, and it's he's got a big population lead. We've only got the second barracks going up now. We're 11 minutes and 20 seconds in. Borg, following my advice from the last week's video, you can see there, I assume he definitely did that, and he has produced a market as his first building. Now what I expect to see is, because if you look, he's got very little wood and a mass of food. Trade some of the food for wood, he'll get a good price, and he's taken advantage of it. What we also see here going out is, having reached the town phase, is that StarAtt, I think he was a little bit spooked by the fact that Borg managed to come in that direction. So he's putting a watchtower together to give them a better chance of defending against those things. And this spearman, even though he's got an advantage against cavalry, that's all done. And StarAtt then considers, should he go and try and push on? No, gives up on it. No need. Okay, so for StarAtt, he's got these 2 coming. I don't think he's built any. Oh, he's built the market as well. First building, good boy. That made him sound like a dog there. Apologies for that, StarAtt, if you're watching. I did not mean to be so condescending there. And the next building is the blacksmith. So he's going to have 4 buildings very quickly and be able to go very quickly to phase 3. Borg is going to be doing something very similar. I mean, Borg hasn't got any of the metal upgrades, but both of them have got plenty of metal and stone, and so whichever one gets these 4 buildings up first will be in a great position to go to phase 3. The other advantage that StarAtt has at that point, not only can he go to phase 3 and is doing that immediately, is that he can keep producing so many more soldiers than Borg once he has, because of the thing. Apologies for that bing noise. That was WhatsApp. And God, he's produced another. He's getting another barracks. His 5th barracks is going up now. Where has Borg even got the thing going? Yeah, Borg is now going to phase 3 as well. So I can't help but feel that Borg should have been further ahead by this point. And we've got another civic centre going up. Interesting choice. That's a use of 500 stone, which means that he's well short at the moment of the stone, once he gets there, of then building a civic centre. Had he not done this, he would have had sufficient. Oh, we've got some more raiding going on. So all the still no deaths for Borg. He's not managed to lose any, but he's going to have to find a way out of here. They're trying to cut him off. He's being chased, and I think if StarAtt notices quickly enough, there's almost no chance of these cavalry surviving. 1 down. I'd be very surprised. Yeah, if any of them. Okay, he's doing great dodging runs, but they only just survived, the pair of them, on 35 and 20 health respectively, and we've got just over 30 seconds there and 20 odd seconds here, and that is the point at which we will start to see the rams come out. Now, interestingly, I may be wrong, let's have a look. Neither side has produced sword cavalry yet. For me, that seems a bit of an oversight. They both know that there's going to be rams coming very shortly. I'll be interested to see what order they take things from here in as well. So let's see what StarAtt does. He's built that. He goes for the hero first. Interesting. And let's see, for Borg, his choice is to go for the hero first. They've both gone for the most obvious heroes that you would find. Karakatos and what's his name? Vercingetorix. Yeah, Vercingetorix. On the other one, it's like and how many barracks? So we've now got 4 barracks, a 5th one going up. So we should finally see production levels at the sort of the same as can be expected. Yeah, both have managed to produce 5 barracks. So in terms of mineral resources, though, these guys are a lot of the. It's going to be more difficult for Borg. So just to explain, this deposit here is really helpful being near the front line. Although on the one hand you can look at it and say, it's more likely to be attacked. Borg's guys back here can just carry on mining happily and no one can stop them. Yeah, they can, but if these guys are needed on the front line, that's a hell of a walk that they've got to get. Whereas these guys can kind of be mining, then go and do some attacking, then go back and do some mining. And we've got a temple on the front line, as you would expect. Where are we looking at? There's no upgrades so far from Borg. That, unlike StarAtt, who does have upgrades, and that's going to be a huge advantage. Okay, Borg is getting that 2nd upgrade, and will StarAtt do the same? He's got the 1st armor upgrade, and hello, we've got our first kind of skirmishes going off here, and these guys are on a hiding to nothing. He needs to get those away, get them into the temple, get them to safety, because they're just going to die. And loads of them did, and it's, yeah, and this is interesting. It's a good idea. I've not seen it before, but I like it. That little bit of wall in front of the in front of the fortress makes it far less susceptible to being knocked down. And this is exactly as expected. That is a temple right on the front line where you would want it. And what, do we have any more? You've got 2 more rams coming. Here we've got 6 rams, but I think Borg's managed to get housed. Oh, that could be catastrophic. Okay, let's have a look now. That could be the oversight, and I say this without any fear of overplaying it. That could cost him the game. With no rams out and also having no sword cavalry. Okay, he's lost a tower. He's not really garrisoned. The thing, this is his only sword cavalry. He needs Vercingetorix to be out to try and at least scare off the rams, because there's very little else that they can do. These guys are finally being built now, but to try and build 6 rams actually is going to take a long time. Oh, he's got 2 rams. Oh, my mistake. He already had 2 rams. I thought then that was it. But these guys are getting themselves in massive trouble. If this ram goes down, he needs to get... Oh, they can't get... And there's more rams coming here. He can't seem to get the rams to the other rams. And that... Oh, this is bad news. If we can knock that ram out, that's better. But... Okay, are they able to... Oh dear. I don't see a way to stop that. We've got these 6 rams coming, but it is in a long time. Ah, that's what he had. Oh, he's gone. So the plan was always to use Vercingetorix as the last gasp kind of attack, but look at that, it's gone. And he now needs to get Vercingetorix as well. Look, you see what I mean about all these soldiers? Look, they're all stuck at the back, not able to help out. He's got 6 barracks, but they're not producing anything. Now they are producing skirmishes, but the skirmishers won't be able to do anything against the rams. At least the slingers can do something. This is just going down, and way before this is done, and that is effectively game over. Sorry, Borg, you are in massive trouble here. With no fortress, has he got doesn't have the stone to build another one. Stopped mining stone back here. Where's... Right, he's got those upgrades. Where's his market? Before it's too late. Okay, StarAtt's doing the bartering, not Borg. I thought before it's too late. Borg needs to really get in there. I mean, look at... This is just... chaos. Population's down at 50%. Yeah, there's no way back from this. There's just no way back. Sorry, Borg, you can do your best. And he is doing his best. But although I'm intrigued that he hasn't really made an effort to capture or take over any of these barracks. Are there any healers amongst these people? Yeah, there are. And he's got his hero swordsman. Of all the buildings to capture, that. And now as the the barracks start going down, in he comes. This is the last chance saloon. And that was it. Borg realised very, very quickly that was a lost cause, sending... sorry, let's get that. How many did he send? 23 soldiers. All the way back here was never going to be enough to turn it around, especially when you look. The rams are coming through. Was he going to make any more? Nope, no need. Yeah. How many? Still had the 5. He was down to 4. So 2 of the things had been destroyed. Interesting, didn't take out the market. It's the one thing that I would have thought of the first buildings you want to take out, get the market, because that was something that gave Borg hope, in that he could utilise the market to trade and try and rebalance his economy, so he could have got rid of, for instance, he's got loads of wood, could have sold that in exchange for stone or exchanged the metal to try and build another fortress. But yeah, it was all done, absolutely done. Like, yeah, what's his name, StarAtt just kept on doing a very good job. So let's check the stats. You can see the scores. It's a comprehensive victory, far better economy, far better military. And if we look at their stats, buildings, there you go, StarAtt's ahead. Units, StarAtt's ahead. Although if we look at killed, yeah, for a while it's Borg, and then wow, it just changes dramatically. And obviously those are just the flip side of one another. If we look actually at workers, this was I think again absolutely dramatic. He lost a hero. Wood exchanged. So Borg did exchange. He bought wood. Didn't sell any. Didn't buy any food. Sold some food. Yeah, no one bought metal. Wasn't any need. And if we look in terms of text, very, very similar. StarAtt would have had the advantage because he had will to fight. But other than that, they approach things very, very similarly. You can even see the order. Loom was interesting. I didn't notice that, but Loom would have helped his women to survive those raids. But there were no raids in the end. So it wasn't really required. But other than that, you can see all around much the same time. Yeah, it's a very, very, very good game. Really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. And on that note, I'll bid you farewell. Obrigado e adeus.